come to the conclusion I probably lost control over it. I really can't make it do anything I wanted to. All right, ready? It's now 1:30 on March 18th, 2025. We're going to commence the proceedings before the Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement for the city of Palatka. By way of introduction, my name is Ron Brown. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Florida. And pursuant to state code and city code, I've been appointed by the City Commission of the city of Palatka to preside over today's proceedings. This is not a formal court of law. We are not bound by the formal rules of evidence or the formal rules of civil procedure as you might find in the county courthouse. We are, however, by law required to follow the notions of due process and fairness, and we're required to have all the evidence that's presented to be what is called substantial and competent evidence. And that is one of those legal terms you hear, but it basically means that a type of evidence that will allow a rational person to reach a rational conclusion. Doesn't mean you might all reach the same conclusion, but it allows you to reach a reasonable conclusion based on what you see and hear. We're going to be making hearing presentations today. The city has an obligation, if they want to make a finding of a violation, to tell me what the violation is and to show me some evidence to demonstrate with substantial and competent evidence based on their personal knowledge what the violations are. All the respondents who are present today will have an opportunity to make any statements they may wish to make and to present any evidence they wish to present and to ask any questions they wish to ask. After the presentation of both sides, I may have some questions myself. I'll render an opinion on whether there's a violation and what needs to be done about it. I will say this, in the case, if you're here today on a case that's being heard for the first time, there are no fines that would accrue today in the event of a finding of a violation. There would be a time frame to bring the property into compliance. However, if you're here for a secondary hearing where they're seeking to impose a lien on the property, fines have already been accruing and are continuing to accrue. And we'll talk about that when those cases are called. It is our custom to take all the cases in the order in which they appear on the agenda unless respondents are present. I understand we have respondents present for all three cases on our agenda today, so we'll be taking those in the order of your appearance today. That is first come, first served, basically. One of the requirements of substantial and competent evidence is that all the testimony must be sworn. I'm going to ask all those members of the code enforcement staff who will be testifying today if they would please stand and take an oath. Let the record show Mr. Cutright, Ms. Lowe have stood. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you should give today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And those swearings will take place for all three hearings. As I call your case and you identify yourself, I'll be swearing in. The witness says that to each individual case. That being said, we're going to proceed. First case on my agenda is case number 2022-38, is that correct? 606 North 11th Street, Florida. This case is here for second hearing. Looking forward to your owner of the record, supposed to be Robert Jackson. Mr. Jackson? Yes. You've been here before, I believe. Please come forward. Come on up. Say it's like being on The Price is Right when I ask you to come on up or come on down, but it's not. And for the record, your name is Robert Jackson?
Yes, it is.
And you're the owner of the property?
Yes, sir.
North 11th Street?
Yes, sir.
And you four?
Yes,
Were you
sir.
here for the first hearing on this case?
No, sir, I wasn't here for the first year.
You speak in the mic.
No, sir, I wasn't here for the first
Is
year.
that recorded?
Yes, sir.
You speak into it very close.
Hmm?
Can you,
Yes,
okay, can everybody hear it? Can you pick it up? All right. And so you were not here for the first?
I know one here for the first one.
Okay. Did you get notice of the first hearing?
Not really, but I got it after I got,
Did you know about it before the first hearing?
no, because I wasn't here at the first one.
You weren't here?
No.
But the city in the first hearing indicated that they had posted your property in accordance with state law. They put up.
Mhm.
Did
They did.
you ever see that notice?
Oh, yeah, after I got back, I seen it.
All right. There is an address of record for you.
Mhm.
And that address appears to be, let me look at the file here. Is that record? I'm looking at that now.
The address is 606 North 11th Street, Palatka, Florida.
That's a mailing address?
Yes, sir.
Is that your correct mailing address?
Correct.
All right, the city sends a certified letter to that address. Did you remember getting a certified letter or get a notice from the post office about a certified letter?
No, I wasn't here at that time.
Right.
I was,
That is the correct mailing address?
that's correct.
Right.
Mailing
And
address.
just so you know, they're required to send it to that address because that's what state law requires.
Right.
For the kind of,
Mhm.
so did you post it the first time, Ms. Lynn?
Yes, sir. It was posted the first time.
Got the certified letter and posted it. Did you get a green card back on any of these?
Not the first time, the second time.
All right, so did you find a green card to give to the postal service when you got the letter for this hearing?
Hmm. No, I don't think so.
Fine, Ms. Lynn.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did he sign that?
Michael did. That's okay. That's
Somebody in your family signed?
somebody in the family
We just
signed.
want to make sure you know about
Yeah,
this.
I know. Well,
And,
Lisa's family. I go, yeah, we good.
and the good news is you're here today.
Mhm.
All right, and that's an important thing. But they sent that same notice for the first hearing. Had you talked with anybody from the city before the first hearing, which was in October? Is that correct?
October 18th, 2020. Yes, sir.
Mhm. Okay, yes, I did.
Do you remember talking to anybody before that hearing about this situation?
I've been talking to people ever since I got out about it. I'm trying to get help and
Okay.
everything else that I possibly could get to.
You've been away.
Yeah.
All right. Understand the situation. Does that help explain why this has been 3 years between hearings?
Pretty much, sir. And Mr. Monty, he's the property manager, so he did a lot of the fixing up after it was burnt.
All right, and I'm going to recap just a little bit where we are, and I'm going to let Ms. Lowe take it from there. The original violations on this property were of 3 parts of the city code. One of section 30-169, which deals with building fronts and sides. That is the parts of the building you can see from a public right of way or from the neighboring property. And it had to do with some rotten and weakened wood on the property. The second one was prohibited conditions, in violation of section 30-32A. Mainly this is accumulation of trash and debris on the property. I think it's all man-made items that were on the property. It wasn't about vegetation. And the third violation had to do with, again, a section of section 30-32A of the code, prohibited conditions and public nuisances due to the roof and being in disrepair. And at the hearing, the city presented its case. This was in October of 2022. And I made a finding of a violation with a chance to fix it. And then there was a deadline date after which a fine would start to accrue. And what was the rate of the fine, Ms. Lynn?
It was $100 and one of them was fixed, so then it was 75
$75 for
per
two
violation.
violations?
For three, $25 each. Yes, sir.
4 violations.
Yes, sir.
No, $25 per violation per day.
Correct.
All right. How much do those fines come to as of today?
As of today, $63,875.
Which is a substantial number. I will tell you that the city commission is the one that usually gets to be involved in reducing the amount of fines on these properties, just so you know. So what's happened is these fines have accrued because of these violations. I understand you've been away, you might not be able to deal with this yourself. Have you been in touch with anybody in your family about this while you were away?
No, well, I couldn't get in touch with anybody. They don't allow you to do too much of anything.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Ms. Lowe, we're here again seeking foreclosure or abatement, foreclosure of the lien or abatement of the property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Has the lien already been recorded?
No, sir.
So you're seeking to record the lien?
To record official lien. Yes,
All
sir.
right, so the fine as of today is what it is, and I'll leave it up to the city to indicate what they want to do about the accrued fine at this point. Right now, the city wants to proceed with the amount. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
All right, Ms. Lowe, please proceed.
Yes, sir. Christy Lowe, Code Enforcement, City of Palatka. The address in question is 606 North 11th Street, Palatka, Florida, 32177. We're in case number 2022-03N. This is the second hearing. This case was transferred to myself from Officer Green on February 19th, 2025. No. That's the affidavit of service, posting of the property.
And that's part of the record also?
Yes, sir, it's all part of the official record. Transfer of the case.
And for the record, we're looking at a visual electronic display of the documents that are part of the record.
That's correct, sir. And if you can go to the first photo, please, ma'am.
So we're looking at photo 1A, is that correct?
Yes, sir, this
And
was
let me inquire, did you personally take the photographs you're now showing us?
not this one. This one was one of Mr. Green's. The next one is mine, sir.
All right, so show me the next one then.
Yes, sir, this is my photo.
Taken on what date?
March 5th, 2025.
Which, let me go back to the previous one if I may.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Tyson, can you see the
Mhm.
display? Go back
Yes.
to the previous one if I may. Were you working as a code enforcement officer on the date that this photo was taken?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the property?
Yes, sir.
Does this photo represent the condition of the property when you saw it in 2024?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right. So now proceed to the next one. That's wrongling. That'll be kidding you. This is 1B and you took this photograph yourself.
That's correct,
All
sir.
right, so did this, has been any change in the properties, in your observation since 2024?
It's actually gotten a little worse.
All right. What,
So with the burnt structure, the rotten and weakened wood,
can you go
it's-
back to where are you going with that? Oh, very good. So what's the situation?
so when you're looking at the front of the house, that's the main part of the burnt structure. The roof is starting to fall down even more. There's like a hole in the roof and in the flooring, and it's all starting to slant towards the ground, so it has gotten worse.
In relation to section 30-169 of the code,
That's correct, sir. Rotten and weakened wood.
and this photo was taken from the right of way on
North 11th.
11th.
Yes, sir.
And so those conditions are worse than they were in 2024 and 2022.
Yes, sir.
Did you see the property in 2022?
No, sir.
It's worse than it was in 2024. too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next. This one's 2A in reference to 30-32A1, which is what violation?
This was trash and debris.
And we're looking at the man-made items that are in the yard and visible on the porch.
That's correct, sir.
Now, be okay on the porch if you had like a porch furniture or something there, but
Yes, sir.
that's not what this is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So curing that violation would require removal of all those items.
Yes, sir.
All right, going back to the previous one, just so I'm clear on 1B, curing that violation would be repairing the walls and the roof of the property.
We have a roofing,
The roofing would be the issue.
we have a roofing, picture too, but yes, sir, the front of the house, which is burnt.
All right, please proceed.
So on my update on my picture that I took, on March 5th, 2025, Mr. Jackson has done some cleanup, but this is what's left of the man-made, debris.
So there has been some progress.
Yes, sir. He's
Okay.
worked on it. some. Next photo, please.
But the fine still accrues for that violation.
Yes, sir, until it's cleaned up. Yes, sir.
All right.
This is one of Mr. Green's. This is 3A, roofing and disrepair.
And where the roof is collapsed, this is the tin or steel roof,
Yes, sir.
and the roofing has collapsed down toward the eaves.
Yes, sir.
I guess it's over the eaves. Needs to be fixed.
Yes,
fixing
sir.
that. Is that going to require a permit?
The roofing will require a permit. Yes, sir. There should be one more, 3B.
Two,
There it is.
3B.
So this is the photo that I took on March 5th, 2025 from North 11th Street, 3B. I tried to show you where the roof is coming down. It's coming down a little bit more since Mr. Green's last photo. where the arrows are pointing.
And again, that's where the eaves, over the eaves of the house.
That's correct, sir.
Is the rest of the roof intact?
The whole roof has issues, but that's the main part where, the bottom part of the wood was burnt, so the roof is now coming down.
All right. Yeah.
That's all my evidence, sir.
Right, basically what we're looking at is the roofing needs to be repaired as to the front part over the eaves. And the man-made trash and debris in the yard, and then the decayed and weakened wood under the roof and supporting the roof.
The front of the house, yes,
And the
sir.
front of the house.
Yes, sir.
And the roofing repair requires a permit.
It does, sir.
Does the repair to the weakened or damaged wood require a permit?
It will, because it's the whole part of the structure, the
The
front part of the
front house.
structure. Yes, sir.
Removing the debris does not require a permit.
No, sir.
So seeking a lien.
We're
recommendation?
seeking an official lien at this time.
Correct. All right, Mr. Jackson, where the city is that this property's been pretty much in condition for 3 years that it's been on the record here. And I understand you haven't been able to address it correctly because of your absence, but nonetheless, the roof needs to be repaired. The wood on the front of the house as seen from 11th Street needs to be repaired, and all that rest of that debris in the yard needs to be removed. What the city's asking for today is to record a lien on the property. The amount of fines have already become pretty substantial. Generally, once that lien's reported, the persons who can reduce that lien is the city commission. There is a process you can apply to city commission and it is reduced. And they've been known to do that, but again, that depends on the case that's presented to them. Did you have any question about any of this in terms of what the condition of the house is, or the nature of the violations, or what needs to be done?
I don't even know where to start at. You want the truth? I really don't.
You own the property yourself personally?
Yeah, but I really don't know where to start at because it's not in the trash in the yard. It's that been knocked down by us. People that's coming up on the porch and bringing trash and stuff. The lady comes up there, she cuss me out and do whatever she feel like she want to do. And I don't know. You know, it's just well. The only thing I can say, I do all I can know how to do, and that's just it. The rest is up to y'all. That's all I know to do. I pick up all the trash, I clean up, and that what I'm looking at right there was did by another person.
Well, couple things, just to help you understand where I think the city is, and I've run across these for a while, and I've been doing this kind of thing now for most of 40 years. So I've seen a lot of issues. And one of the things that happens a lot is people who are absentee owners, and that would be your case, things happen to their property in their absence. And if no one's watching it, it can present some difficulties. The unfortunate situation for you is, under the law, you're the property owner and you've got the responsibility to maintain it and abide by the laws and the codes that affect your property. And again, you're not the first one to have these types of circumstances. The question becomes then, what do you want to do about it? Because the responsibility for that still falls on the property owner.
I know.
The state doesn't bring these things, in my experience. Same thing's true of counties, and I've done this in a number of counties and cities, is because they haven't been able to get compliance another way. Also, please understand, these issues are generated by complaints. People now have to sign up and say, I'm going to be the complainant. This one goes back far enough. I'm not sure that was the law at the time, but nonetheless, neighbors complain, people in the city who are citizens can complain. Brings it to the attention of code enforcement, and they have to respond to it because they want to see their neighborhoods maintained. It's a situation. I understand your circumstances, what you may feel helpless in what you can do about it. The city situation is, but we need to do something about it because I've got some elected officials, I've got some people in the neighborhood who are all.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
And nothing's happened.
I understand it.
It's been 3 years in the city system. So the city's now in a position where they're saying, we want to proceed with the next step. We want to get a lien on the property.
Okay,
And
sure.
then if that doesn't work, the next step is going to be a hearing to authorize foreclosing a lien or.
I understand exactly where you're going.
All right. Anything you'd like to add to the situation?
No, sir, I'm just gonna leave it just like it is. I'm not gonna say anything, I'm gonna leave it just like it is.
Say, not everyone comes to the hearings. I want to say thank you for coming
Yeah.
and
Appreciate it.
trying to be responsible about the situation and telling us
Okay.
honestly what the situation is. Hope you appreciate where they're coming from. My job is just to.
I do, I understand it.
And I don't really have a dog in the fight except to say, give a good decision as to what's going on.
I understand
All
it.
right, based on the evidence and testimony presented, it seems with the violations, the three remaining violations on the property located at 606 North 11th Street, in violation 30-169 due to the rotten and weakened wood on the front facade of the building. Section 30-32A, due prohibited conditions and public nuisance due to the accumulation of this man-made debris, it's not vegetation on the property. With recognition that some of that's been solved, but some of it still needs to be removed.
Nothing on the property.
32A, prohibited conditions and public nuisances, the roofing and disrepair that needs to be done. And keep in mind, compliance for the roofing and the wood repair is going to require a permit from the city.
Well,
Based on that-
that's the only thing is on the property, that right there. It's no debris or no nothing on the property. No, nothing, no vehicles, no nothing, no anything on my property. But, that's the only thing is right there.
Is it your desire to try to repair this house?
I was trying to, but don't look like to me I'm gonna make it.
Well, I'm becoming an idiot savant with this thing. It's getting off, guys. We're going to, based on that, the city's entitled to their lien, so I'm going to issue an order finding it that there's been no improvement. And that the city attorney may for the necessary lien on the property, and create the property. And again, Ms. Lowe, just for the record, the amount of fines as of today are.
$63,875, sir.
Those fines will continue to accrue at the rate of $75 a day until satisfaction of compliance. So it doesn't stop there. So there's a motivation to try to get something done. Okay? You know, Ms. Lowe, you met Ms. Lowe. I want you to make sure you know how to get in touch with her and talk with her about what kind of progress you're making, let her know what's going on.
That and the fines is impossible.
You can come back to the city commission and see if they are willing to work.
It is.
Once it comes into compliance, there's always the lien reduction.
So if you don't mind, I've met with both you and Mortgage Holder, several times. And again, I will repeat what I said on the first meeting, which is if we move forward with demolishing the property, because I don't think it's salvageable. At that point, assuming all the debris is out of the yard, it would be considered in compliance and you would be able.
I don't have anything in the yard. There's nothing in my
If we
yard.
demolish the property, if we demolish the structure, it will be considered in compliance. And then you can apply for a lien reduction. So this 63,000 could conceivably be brought down to a very, very small amount, the cost of the demolition and then administrative costs. So you have options here. Barring that, the city will be proceeding with the foreclosure.
Okay.
Demolition also requires a permit, correct?
Yes.
Need to work with Ms. Lowe if you want to go that direction. Okay,
I'm already working on the permit.
all right. If you don't want to lose it, there's some things you can do is what they're telling you.
No, okay. I already got them. I'm already to start on the permit. But I've been out there. Supposed to go back to the pick it up.
All right, Mr. Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming today. All right, next case is going to be a new case.
Yes,
Case
sir.
number 2024-151, property located at 312 Fern Street in Palatka. On a record appears to be the heirs of O.J. Buford and Sharon Louise Buford or Beaufort. I'm sorry? Buford. Buford. If you're in, how does that work? If you're in North Carolina, it's Beaufort. But you're in South Carolina, it's Buford. No kidding. No, come on up. yours with a T on the end, but there are. I had one time, his name was Bochamp. But if you got in front of me, said, my name is Beecham, and don't you forget it. It's like, you have to go with the local pronunciation. All right, this is the property at 312 Fern Street in Palatka, a new case. It looks like the city is complaining about 3 violations, one of section 94-193 of the city code. Parking or storage of unlicensed vehicles and commercial vehicles in residential zones, specifically vehicles and trailers. The vehicle not registered, tag not registered with debris in the front yard. A second violation, section 30-32A, prohibited conditions in public nuisances, trash and debris, and 30-32A, prohibited conditions in public nuisances, overgrown growth and grass. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Let me make sure I've got the right person in front of me. And you are, again, your name?
Devin Buford. Devin.
Devin, and you are an heir of O.J. Buford.
Correct.
And how are you an heir?
I am his grandson.
Grant?
Correct.
Who is Sharon Louise?
That is my aunt. She was his daughter, of course, and she passed away about 3 years ago.
Did this, could you raise your right hand for a moment?
I'm sorry.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Is this case been probated?
I'm currently in the middle of probate. I'm also in the middle of litigation on said property.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's been a fun ride. I do not have access to the property as another party claims they have ownership and responsibility of the property. Through some paperwork and situations that have been discussed with my attorney. I sent him a copy of both the notice of the code enforcement as well as the notice that I got for this hearing. I had to change attorneys actually, because he was not doing what he was supposed to. My attorney said the notice was sent out to the other party's attorney about the violations, as well as this hearing.
All right. Why we got here. Frequently, we see these cases where the official records that's held by the property appraiser and the tax collector show that the property is the heirs of, which means they don't know if there's been an estate, a probate estate opened. They may not know who the heirs are. In this case, they found out about Sharon. Was that how they called her, Sharon Louise?
Yes, sir.
But now I don't think they know she has passed. And
I mean, there is an official death notice been posted against the property and everything. I have started the probate process. I'm in the middle of it.
And that may be true, but it hasn't shown up yet on the official records of the property appraiser and tax collector. And Ms. Love, this is, it looks like the letters were sent to the heirs of Mr. Buford and Sharon Buford at 131 Azalea Circle.
That's correct. That's what's on file.
Is that a correct address?
Yes, sir. I currently live at the property as I was living with her at the time of her passing. And I have gotten the paperwork as far as the code enforcement, the hearings. I've gotten all of the paperwork for this situation.
Just clear, you live at 131 Azalea,
Correct.
but the property is 312 Fern.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Okay, gotcha. I'll make sure we're in the right place. So you got the official certified letter?
Yes, sir.
Did you post the property also?
I did post the property and that's the other party that's residing. That got to-
Come on in. Identify yourself for the record, please.
Henry Fox,
And you are related to the property house.
not related.
What, okay, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give today to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Then why are you here? What's your interest in the
The
property?
power of attorney signed over both properties to me.
Okay.
Before the passing.
And are those persons who signed the power of attorney alive?
Yes,
They're both alive. Who signed the power of attorney for you?
my grandfather,
Who was that?
Jimmy Conley.
I'm just trying to figure out whether you're a proper party to be here with an owner.
We're in the battle together.
Okay,
Over the
on the
place.
same side?
No,
Okay, you're fighting each other.
yeah,
All right, it's not my job to sort that out.
Yeah.
Special magistrates have a very narrow range of jurisdiction. I've said this many times before. I get to figure out whether or not the city can present a case to show there's a violation of city code with relation to this property and then what needs to be done about it, and if appropriate, what kind of, steps to take to ensure compliance, whether that means fines and the way the statute works. So that's what I'm here to sort out today. But one of the things I am concerned about always is whether or not we've got notice to the people. And the state law that governs this states that we send notice to the owner of record at the official address of record, which I understand has been done. It looks like the certified letter was sent to the Bufords and heirs at the official address. You mailed it to the Azalea Circle?
131 Azalea Circle, yes,
All right,
sir.
so they got there and it looks like it got there. And the city's also posted the property. How did you know to be here, sir?
I finally got notification of this last, Thursday before last.
How'd
It was on the
how'd you get
door.
notification?
It was on the door.
Do you in possession of the property?
Yep. And before that, I've never heard anything about this.
Well, the reason you probably haven't is that your name just doesn't show up anywhere in the official records. But you're here. So what's going to happen now is that Ms. Lowe is going to present her case regarding whether or not there's a violation of these three areas of the statute. And let me, if I may, I'm satisfied with due process. We sent the certified letter, we posted the property. We've got two people here who claim to have an interest in it.
Yes, sir.
One of whom is actually named Buford and is related to the two of these people who are listed. I'm not going to get into anything else with regard to that. I'm just simply saying that's what it is. And I think that satisfies the due process requirements. All right, we have provisions. Looks like 30-32A regarding prohibited conditions in public nuisances talks about excessive and unintended growth of grass, weeds, bushy branches, other overgrowth, the existence of objectionable, unsightly property, accumulation of trash, junk, or debris, excessive unintended growth of grass and weeds, existence of other objectionable, or unsightly, unsanitary materials, and debris in the yard. And then the one that's interesting is the parking of unlicensed vehicles, commercial vehicles in residential zones in violation of 94-190. All right, Ms. Love,
Yes, sir.
show me some photographs.
Yes, sir.
Did you take these photographs?
I did, sir.
And do the photographs accurately represent the condition of the property, or do what you do?
The day I took them, yes, sir.
Please proceed.
Yes, sir. Christy Lowe for the record, City of Palatka Code Enforcement. This is going to be case number 2024-151. The Kingston property address is 312 Fern Street, Palatka, Florida, 32177. This is going to be, first photo taken was 1A. It was taken on 9/11/2024. Shows evergreen grass and growth on the property.
So, okay, go back to violation. So it's just grown too high?
At this point, it's grown too high.
What's too high?
So it's over 18 inches. If you look at the next picture, sir, that I
Okay.
just recently took.
Okay, one B?
Yes, sir. This is gonna be 1B taken on March 12th,
yardstick.
2025. If you look at my yardstick on the first area, that's the 18 inches, which is over, and it's my, that's 36 inches.
So what's the second arrow on the bottom?
It's the 18 inches, so it shows where it's over 18 inches, it goes all the way to 36,
So it should be reduced to what height?
18 inches, under 18 inches.
Okay. Is that a code provision or?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So basically you gotta mow the grass. Just let the grass. All right.
And
Next.
if, go to 2A, please. This was taken on 9/11. It just shows debris and trash. There's tires behind the trailer. There's debris on the trailer. That's from First Street.
So basically the trailer and what's in it
Yes, sir.
need to go. Anything other than the trailer and what's in it?
He showed that the trailer is registered, so we're good with that.
Do you leave the trailer?
The trailer, just as long as the debris is off of it,
Okay.
yes, sir. And it's registered, he can have it up front.
Very good. An empty trailer would be fine.
NP trailer.
Very good. Next.
And if you go to 2B, this shows taken on March 12th, 2025. It just shows, I tried to get more of a picture where you could see the tires and the debris in the trailer.
So this is the man-made items under and to the left of the arrows.
Correct. And if you go to 3A, please. This shows parking and storage of the unlicensed vehicle. It just shows a white truck with no tag. He currently says he did place the tag back on it, so as soon as I can get down, I'll clear that.
So that's the 94-193 violation?
That's correct, sir.
So all we need is a registration and a tag.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So on 3B was my updated photo on March 12th, 2025. It just shows closer picture of the truck without the trailer.
During all times at the property, have you seen that truck moved at any time?
No, sir.
And man-made debris, so we're looking about grass to 18 inches. Register the truck, get the man-made debris off the property.
That's correct, sir. Those are,
What
those
else?
are the violations. That's it.
Sir, come up first. You're the one named in this thing. The city is taking a position, you've got some, quite honestly, relatively minor things to deal with in terms of these violations. Get the truck registered. Does that truck move? Do you know?
I do not know, sir, as that
No, you're
truck is
good.
not my property. I have not had access to the property.
Okay, so you don't claim any interest in the property?
The property, yes, sir. That's why I'm
Oh,
going
the
through
truck is
it.
not your
The
property.
the truck is not my property, no,
All
sir.
right. And you understand about the man-made debris on the property and the need to mow the grass?
As long as I have access to the property, I will. I have not been given access during the heat source.
Again, I'm not going to get into that. I'm simply asking, sir, could you help me with, is that your truck?
Yes, it's my
Can you
truck.
come up to mine?
Yes, it's my truck.
All right, and but what about the vegetation and the man-made items on the property?
Taken care of.
It's already taken care of?
Yep.
Anybody contact Miss Lowe before today's hearing and let her know about this?
Nope. I was just showed on the paperwork to show up.
All right. All right, if it's been taken care of, now, I don't, you say it's been taken care of, I don't know.
I haven't did an update today. No, sir, I didn't go by today.
When was this taken care of?
This weekend.
When's the last time you were out there?
Friday.
Friday. Well, good news is, based on what I'm hearing today, I can find a violation, but you need to let her know that it's solved. And it's basically not going to be any harm to it because there won't be any fine that accrues for those violations.
Yeah, she said she'll go by and check it.
Well, it's fine. Again, here's just so everybody understands the situation. Whatever happens, it happens to the property right now. You guys got to sort out who owns it. That's your fight. The only fight the city has right now is getting this property brought into compliance with the code. My job is to see where there's a violation and see, based on that violation, what it's going to take to bring the property into compliance. And that's money right now. The good news for y'all, and you got anything else you'd like to add to this situation?
The truck will not,
I'm
the
sorry.
truck will not move because I received a DUI. And the reason the tag was off of it is because I had to turn my tag into the probation officer and put it on hold until
Okay,
7 days.
is it operable?
No,
So is the vehicle operable?
not at this time. No, it isn't.
So it can't move.
No.
Okay, so just getting a tag on it doesn't necessarily satisfy the city's problem, because if it's inoperable means it not.
I'm in the process of rebuilding the engine in it, but I still can't drive it because I received a DUI. I don't have a license.
Well, here's what's gonna happen to you. Based on the evidence and testimony, I think it's appropriate to find that there are 3 violations. One is that the white vehicle truck on the property, which is a GMC, it looks like, is inoperable in that it's not licensed and registered and apparently is not mechanically able to be operated. That needs to be taken care of. In other words, you need to have it so it can be operated and it needs to be licensed. As to the grass, that's just mowing the grass to 18 inches. We're not talking about any other vegetation on the property. Is that correct, Ms. Love?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Right. And thirdly, the rest of the man-made items that are strewn about the property need to be removed. All right?
It's all been
If
done.
you're gonna, how much time are you giving them?
30 days, sir, April 17th.
I'm gonna go with that. You've got until the end of business on April 17th. to solve those problems. Each of those problems, each fine, each violation has a $25 a day fine. If you are correct, and no reason to believe you wouldn't be, and the truck can be made operable in that period of time, doesn't sound like it's operable right now. But if the truck can be made operable within that time frame, the grass can be mowed, the debris can be removed, there will be no fines, this case will be over. However, if the fines start to accrue on April 18th because of noncompliance, those fines will go against the property, and have to be paid. The city does have the option to come back at a later date within, I think it's have to wait at least 90 days. And seek a lien, which goes against the property. So I'm just letting you know what's out there. Again, you sat through a previous hearing, and you understand that the city generally doesn't start these complaints. People complain. And they want their neighborhoods to look nice, and they want to comply with the ordinances. That's what it's about. So it's not, this property isn't going to go away. In the sense that it's pretty visible. You can see it from the street. Progress is going to be pretty noticeable to everybody else in the community. So what you really don't want, and the city doesn't want your money, just so you know. And that's all that they're here for today. All right, there's going to be an order sent. You've got the official address of record. It's up to them. If they want to send you some notice, sir, you need to make sure she's got your name. and
I can send it
address.
to Front Street.
Sir,
Okay.
one question.
Sure.
Could the truck be towed in order to meet compliance?
Gets it off the property. The only violation is that it's sitting in this residential property is inoperable. If you get it off the property, don't create another violation, but that's up to you. But if you get it off this property, it'll solve that violation. But you got till April 17th. Any questions, gentlemen?
Not for me, no,
All
sir.
right, I wish you the best of luck in resolving what you can resolve. At least you're here today. Thank you for coming. At least you've been mostly amicable about it all so far, so we'll see how that goes. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Anything?
No, sir, you don't have to sign anything. Thank you,
Yeah.
Devin.
One more.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
We're going to call case number 2027-78. Vida Christine Knowles and Hoyt B. Knowles, property is 1606 Green Street, Palatka. This is the case seeking lien, is that correct?
Yes, sir, an official lien.
And sir, are you a respondent? Are you here for that case?
We have no one showed for this case. No one is showed for this case.
No one, oh, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
So we don't have anyone here. So let me make an official call as Vida Christine Knowles or Hoyt B. Knowles or anyone representing them present today. All right, so we hear no one. Now let me do some due process. This is second.
Second hearing. Yes, sir.
Did we send a certified letter to the official address of record?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And did it come back?
That came back the first time, but not the second time yet.
We haven't heard from the postal service.
No,
Did you
sir.
get a receipt from the post office that it was mailed?
The first time and the second time, yes, that it was mailed and no, that, no green card back yet.
Okay, but you got a receipt that post office service
Mhm.
got it and mailed it.
Yes, sir.
And those are part of the record.
Yes, sir, they are.
And then you notice the property according to state statute.
Yes, sir.
And
And
you have your affidavit of service included
do.
in the record.
yes, sir.
Looks like posting was on March 5th.
That's correct.
And, at both the property and here at City Hall.
And site posting and also in the newspaper.
Any contact with any regarding this property?
No, sir, I haven't. This is a transfer case for Mr. Green and it didn't show where he had any contact either.
Was any owners present at the first hearing of the case?
No, sir, they were not.
This was in
June 13th.
September 19th of 2023, correct?
It shows the first case was June 13th, 2023 was the first hearing.
Okay. Oh, I see it. That's the one you took out. This is.
Yes, sir.
June 13th.
Yes, sir.
It's been coming on a couple of years. Has there been an issue with getting it back here?
I just took this case over on January 29th.
Right. The original violations had to do with one section of the city code that was 30-169 regarding building fronts and sides abutting streets or public areas. And due to rot and weakened wood on the front. Is that correct?
It's actually on the front left side, but yes, sir, up to the front.
All right. And do you have some demonstrative evidence for us?
I do, sir.
Did you take the photographs you're about to show us?
I took the second set of photographs, yes, sir, and visibly seen the property.
Have you viewed the property
Yes, sir, I did.
back in 2023?
I was here in 2023, yes.
Okay. All right. So show me what 1B first one, and then these all relate to 30-169 lot and weakened wood.
Yes, sir, that's correct. For the official record, Christy Lowe, City of Palatka Code Enforcement, case number 2022-078. The address in question is 1606 Green Street, Palatka, Florida. And we'll go to. Don't even know. We're looking at 1B of Mr. Green's. He took this on March 6th. Excuse me. This one was mine. I took this one. His was.
So is that photograph an official part of the record of the original hearing? Made in 20, no, this is the current photograph, correct?
This is the current photograph. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I only have one. I apologize. I have one photo from Mr. Green. So I wanted to show this one.
Okay,
This was a 1B. It shows the full size of the Weekend Wood. This is
Right.
from Green Street.
this photo was taken in March 5th of this year.
And also, yes, sir.
All right, and this one is from Green Street.
Green Street, facing Green Street.
And so the violation is what here?
It's the rotten and weakened wood. It starts at the bottom panel and goes all the way up. And I believe it's a total of 18 panels and it's just starting to reach the bottom and it's caving down.
And the siding is sagging.
Yes, sir, it is.
So what's the remedy for that?
To replace the rotten and weakened wood on the left side.
Does that require a permit?
It will because it's on half the side of the left side of the home.
Right. And that was the same side. It was part of the finding of violation at the original
In the
hearing in
original hearing,
2023.
yes, sir.
All right. Next.
So the next one is 2B. This is a transfer from Mr. Green and it just shows a little bit more of the front of the house. And I'm trying to show the arrow or Mr. Green had it coming down.
So that photo was also taken in 25?
No. Yes,
Okay,
I
so you
apologize.
took that one.
This was the one that Mr. Green took. Is that says 3 or 1?
It's 317.
Okay, maybe the next.
This is the
One.
January.
Yes, this is the one Mr. Green took in January.
So you're referencing now 1C.
Yes, sir.
So you took that one. So that's a part of the official record of the.
It is.
hearing.
It was his official record taken in January 13th.
Yeah. In your observation of these photographs and visiting the property, has there been any effort to try to remediate the problem?
No, sir. I went back from the beginning of the case and it's actually deteriorated worse. He was getting ready in January to take it to the second hearing in January.
Very good. Next. 2C.
Yes, that's another picture of Mr. Green's.
So is this the same elevation?
Yes, sir. It's his, but then I went and I took the picture of the whole side so you could see everything. And that was my first picture.
So this picture you took was 2C.
This picture here is one of Mr. Green's. I apologize. He took it in January 13th, 2025.
All right, and you've observed the property
Yes, sir.
since then?
So, yes, sir. And I
you
took the
observed
first
it on the day
photograph.
You took this photo.
Yes, sir.
All right, and has the condition of the property changed in any way?
When I took my photo the other day of the whole side, it's actually deteriorated worse.
Again, is that the front elevation of the house?
So you're looking at, yes, the very front left side. So you're looking at the front, if you're looking at the front house, it's the whole left side that's caving down.
Right, so that's all the photographs that we're looking at, is that same
Correct.
elevation?
It's same elevation, same
As
side.
observed from Green Street.
Reserved
All
from
right.
Green Street, correct.
Next.
And that's it. That's the only
So the
violation.
remedy for this is replacing all that siding, and that does require a permit.
It does, yes, sir.
And we entered an order on June 13th, 2023, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And sent copies of that order to the owner of record at the address of record.
Yes, sir, we did.
Never have heard anything back from anyone.
No, sir.
Have you ever observed anyone on this property?
No, sir. I spoke to the neighbors and they said it looks like it's just used for storage.
Okay.
I have not found anybody on the property.
Any other evidence?
No, sir, that's all I have.
Right. So the thing's looking for imposition of a lien.
Official lien, yes, sir.
What's the total number?
As of right now, $13,550.
And it continues to accrue at the rate of $25 a day?
That's correct, sir.
All right, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find it appropriate to enter an order allowing the city to impose a lien on the property for the total amount of fines accrued today, plus any additional fines that will accrue subsequent to today. Due to continued violation of section 30-169 of the city code related to a rotten and weakened wood on the left side elevation of the property located at 1606 Green Street. The property needs to be remediated by, it requires a permit, obtaining a permit and repairing the property to replace the rotted and weakened wood on that side of the house.
That's correct, sir.
Any further cases?
No, sir, that's all.
All right, we're going to adjourn the proceedings before the special magistrate at 2:20.